Hi guys, so just back for another video as promised. Just want to say to you firstly, this video is nutritional advice, okay? So I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't set this in stone. This is just advice. So I'm going to take you through a wee PowerPoint, and it's basically me voicing over it. Hope you enjoy it. If there's any questions about this, leave them in the comments, or even just message me on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Again, thank you for the continued support. And let's get into the video, and if you like it, smash the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. See ya. Okay, I just want to also say a big thank you to Patrick Hickey for making me this wee logo. Okay guys, so here we are. This is the wee PowerPoint. Nutrition Made Simple is the name of it, and it really is a simple thing to understand. So try and listen up and take away what you can from this. So up next, what does this plan actually involve? So what we're going to look at is how to work out your daily calorie needs, how they're split through the macros and how macros work. We're going to look at planning and prepping your nutrition, and then we're going to look at getting started with training, okay? So if you haven't already started your training, a great time is to get started now when you've got so much time off, and you can check out the live workouts I've been doing on YouTube every morning in the playlist in the video section. So after we've talked about that, we're going to look at actually working out your calories. This is where the PowerPoint actually starts, okay? So firstly, you have to work out your BMR. The BMR is basically the number of calories your body needs, essential calories your body needs just to function each day, okay? So like for your heart to function, organs to work, etc. So how you find this number out is you get your body weight in kilos, and if you're a woman, you times that by 22, and if you're a man, you times that by 24, okay? Okay, so now that you've got your BMR, you have to think, okay, what about activity level? Because that's just basic if you're going to sit about all day. So you have to read these 5 statements and say which one describes me best. So if you're mostly inactive, okay, like the majority of us just sitting on our bum all day, you have to times your BMR by 1.2. This will give you the calories that your body needs to maintain its current state. Okay, and once you've got that, we then move on to the next. Right, step 1 and step 2 is now complete. So you've got yourself a number, okay? That number is basically your daily calorie needs. Now, number will only maintain your current body weight, as I've just said. So if you're wanting to lose weight, you need to take 500 away from that number, okay? Taking 500 away from that, the reason is 7 days in a week, 500 calories, okay? So times them together, that's 3,500, and 3,500 calories equates to 1 pound of body fat. From doing that alone, you can lose 1 pound of body fat a week, and that's just through that alone. Okay, now we're moving on to a worked example, okay? So this is just to show you a demonstration of how it's worked out, just in case you didn't understand it, okay? So the final number you get is the calories that you're going to stick to, that you're going to track every single day on MyFitnessPal or the old school way of a book and a pen. So finally, just some key points, okay? So stick to your calories, don't overeat them or undereat them. Make sure you're tracking them each day with MyFitnessPal. And when you're tracking your calories, make sure you're weighing out all your food so that the calories are accurate. Okay, so now we get on to the macros. They're split up into 3 main groups: carbohydrates, which everyone thinks is the devil, proteins, and fats. Okay, so we're going to have a wee in-depth look on how many grams of each we should be taking and how they're split up and what their functions are within our body. Okay, so carbohydrates, what are they used for in the body? Okay, so they're basically stored in the muscles as glycogen, and it's also stored in the liver. Okay, there's 4 calories per gram, and basically what the glycogen's used for is to fuel us through our everyday lives and through activity. And the reason we store it in the liver as well is also to maintain a steady blood sugar level. Okay, so we're going to split the carbohydrates up into 2 different groups. Okay, there's a low GI and a high GI carbohydrate. Okay, so many of you probably didn't know that, but that's why I'm taking the time to explain it now. Okay, so what's GI? GI is, put simple, is basically how the food that you eat will affect your blood sugar levels. Okay, so there's 2 different types of GI. There's a low GI and a high GI. And in the next couple of slides, we're going to explain what they are. Okay, so really listen up. This is really important, okay? Low GI carbohydrates are the one we want to focus on, okay? They alleviate hunger because they're released slower, okay? They also help athletic performance because they are released slower and you get a steady supply of energy, okay? They also help with mood swings, etc., because it controls your insulin levels. Okay, so all the information I've given is backed up by evidence. Okay, so Harvard University shows that it helps reduce the risk of diabetes and cancer and all different other diseases that we don't want. Okay, it helps control your good cholesterol levels, and it's also important to eat it before training low GI because it's released slower, and that means that you'll get the most out of the workout because you'll not fatigue. Okay, next we're going to look at different types of examples of low GI carbohydrates. Okay, so if you just take a wee screenshot here and you'll be able to see. Okay, and you can go back and pause the video to see it. Okay, now. Okay, so now we'll come to the opposite of the low GI, the high GI, okay? These are fast and active release, okay? Spike the blood sugar levels, and that's why we want to try and stay away from them, okay? Because then it leads to excess storage of body fat, okay? The best time to eat these are straight after training, just to get the glycogen straight back into the muscle, okay? Because there's storage space for them. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? So have a wee look through the different types and the list of different types, and again, you can take a screenshot and look back at it. Okay, guys, now we'll come to the protein. Now, protein has a bad misconception, okay? Everyone thinks if I eat loads of protein, I'm going to turn up a big muscle man like bodybuilders, okay? Especially girls, they've got this point of view. But, guys, like the carbohydrate, it only has 4 calories per gram. But this, why it's so important is it makes up every tissue in your body. It's used for growth and repair of muscles, especially when you're training, okay? It's needed to make enzymes within the body, and it helps regulate your hormone control, okay? So there's a lot of different ways you can get protein. It's not just the classic thing that everyone thinks of, a protein shake or a protein bar, the go-to things, okay? It's in a lot of meat, fish, nuts, etc., okay? And we're going to have a list of the different examples where you can find the protein coming up. But okay, so protein intake. How much grams of protein do we need each day? Very simple. You get your body weight in kilos and you look at descriptions on the left-hand side. You times your body weight by the numbers, okay? And that's how many grams of protein you should be trying to hit each day. At the start, it might seem like a lot, but over time, you'll be able to build on it and eventually reach that number. Okay, so this is a list of sources of protein, okay? I'm not going to spend much time on it. I'm just going to flick on by because you can pause and have a wee look at these yourself. Okay, so finally we've got the fats, okay? There's 2 different types of fats, okay? And that is unsaturated and saturated, okay? So they're a crucial part of our diet, okay? So the unsaturated fats are basically help with blood cholesterol levels and help with inflammation and heart rhythms, okay? They're easier for the body to be broken down, and that's why they're better for us, okay? And they're maintained within the body. Our saturated fats, on the other hand, are harder to break down, and they're more likely to be stored as excess body fat because of this. Okay, so here's a wee list of unsaturated fats, the things we want to stay and try and get in our body. Okay, so this is the top weight loss tips. Okay, I'm not going to sit and read through them all, you okay, like a kid. Okay, I just want you to have a look at these by yourself. You can pause it and have a look at it. But the best bit of advice that I'll give is be honest with yourself. Okay, so once you read these, think, am I doing any of this stuff? If you're not, then try and incorporate as many as possible and you will get the best results that you can. And just be honest with yourself. Always, when you're recording, when you're tracking, when you're doing the workouts, honesty is the best policy. Basically the video finished. I'm just going to give a few more wee tips in the outro here, but guys, I didn't want to spend so much time with that. It's only make like a 10-minute video. If I do that properly with clients and I go into it as much depth as possible, I give the clients a wee bit more when I'm doing one-on-one personal training. But if I'm to go into that in as much detail as I can, and I normally do to make it understandable, would be there for half an hour, 40 minutes, and that's the sort of time I normally take, okay? So if you want more in-depth information, just reach out to me, okay? And I can Skype you or I can email you and try and give you as much help as possible. Also, I'll not give them out because it's unfair. I charge the clients for it, okay? But I've got nutrition plans, as in like different ideas for the food. And also, if you want that, some wee bit extra, just get in contact me and we can sort something out. But I just want to say, when you're doing this, okay, so the best way I find to get results is, okay, so the first number that you get, so that calorie intake, you might think, David, that's so high. If I eat that amount of calories, I'm going to bloat, I'm going to put on so much weight. Well, yeah, that might be in the first couple of weeks because it's impossible to tell exactly how many calories you need, okay? So it's a bit more like trial and error, is the way I like to look at it. So the first week, we could say you're on 3,000 calories for talk's sake, and after, the first week, you're like, flip, I've put on a lot of weight, okay? So we'll keep that for, if you have put on weight, okay, then we'll be like, right, okay, so maybe we're eating too much, and we'll take another 100 off. Do it for the next week. Okay, I'm losing weight now, okay, so we'll stick at that for a while until you plateau, and then we'll take more off, okay? So you always start high and you work your way down. What the problem is, people keep their calories too low at the start, and if you start off too low, okay, there's nowhere to drop. And that's why people, when they're dieting as such, don't last too long, okay? They've set their limits far too low, okay? And they're starving, okay, because they're not eating enough calories. So we don't want that. We want to start high and then slowly reduce them if needs be, okay? If the first week we put you on 3,000 and then we're like, oh my goodness, you've lost 6 pounds in a week, then obviously we're eating way too low and that's dangerous, okay? So we'll up the calories a bit. So it's just all about being flexible, guys. And how I want you to weigh yourself is I want you to get yourself a weekly average. So you weigh yourself every single morning if you can. Don't become obsessed with it, okay? It's just numbers. But if you can, weigh yourself every single morning. First thing in the morning before you eat anything, at the same place, wearing nothing or your underwear or whatever, and record that down. And then we do that for the 7 days, and then we record your weekly average. If your weekly average is going down, that's good. Guys, and finally, enjoy it. Be sensible. Any questions, get back to me. The things you need to focus on is weighing yourself each day. Okay? We're getting the weekly average. Tracking your calories as accurately as you can. Getting your workouts done. And finally, take pictures or measurements, okay? Because people get obsessed with numbers on the scale. But as I'm going to show you, I might even put one in the description. I'll put it on Facebook or something. The scales do not mean everything, okay? You can change body shape, okay? You can create muscle mass. You can lose muscle mass, okay? So don't be going on the scales. Focus on fat loss and focus on achievable targets. So if you're a girl, a dress, okay, I want to get from a size 12 to size 10, something like that there, where you can notice the difference. You can notice the difference in pictures. You can notice the difference by taking measurements, okay? Guys, I could ramble on forever, but I'm going to finish it there. Again, thank you for watching. Peace.